My name is Josh Wessel, and this is my passion project vlog. Okay, so for my passion project for this year, I decided to do graffiti. I don't exactly know why I chose graffiti. I guess when I was just pointing, it was probably the first thing that came into my head when I was thinking about what to do. So some things about graffiti. When it originally started, it started back in like the Stone Ages, when it was just like hieroglyphics on walls and whatnot. It eventually became more advanced in 1970s when it started going out through the streets of New York and LA. One thing I would say for sure is that graffiti is not easy for beginners. It is a hard thing to start off with, but eventually once you start doing it, you kind of get the feel of it. I will be giving a demonstration in just a moment after I answer the next two questions. One thing I did discover about doing graffiti is that it is a lot of fun. Although it takes a lot of practice, it will be well worth it in the end. Another thing I discovered while doing this is that the first time I tried it out, it was definitely difficult, just trying to figure out how to properly use the cans and trying to get the feel of how close or how far away I had to keep the cans from the wall. Trying out the different nozzles was also pretty interesting, just because there are many varieties from super thin ones to really thick ones. Another thing that I discovered was that it was hard for sure. When I first tried using the paint, it definitely dripped a lot. Okay, so the last question was, if I had a time machine to go back to the beginning of the semester in February, I would probably tell myself to try and stay on schedule more often. I definitely felt sidetracked during this project, and I feel like if I had actually made a schedule, planned everything out, and used my time wisely, I could have definitely had a better progress with this project. Okay, so now we're gonna go into my garage that I just finished painting over, and I will give the demonstration. Okay, so now that I'm in the garage, I'm gonna be giving a demonstration on the wall, on my garage wall, which I had just finished painting over. But first things first, you need to have a mask, just because the fumes from the paint is very bad to inhale. So I'm gonna put this on and then we'll get started. Okay, so now that I got my mask on, I don't know how well you'll be able to hear me just because I kind of muffles my voice. But anywho, I'll first give you a demonstration on just the thickness of the different nozzles that I have. So the trick for this is that you want to try and keep it close to the wall so you get a nice crisp line. Okay, so there's that. I know that it's a bit drippy. That's just because I haven't used this nozzle in a little while. But as you can see, that's about a normal thickness that you'll get with the cans that you buy. So let's try the smallest one that I have, which is this one. Simply place it over top. So yeah, also, the bigger your nozzles are, the more paint you're going to be using. So, with this one, you won't be using a lot of paint, so. So yeah. As you can see for this one, it's a little bit smaller, but you kind of get the idea of what I'm trying to get at.
So now that I've done that, let's put the original nozzle that was on it back on. There we go. So I will now demonstrate just the different type of lettering you can do. I don't know where I'm gonna do this, but let's try it out anyways. I guess I'll just do it right over here. So first off, you're just gonna have your basic bubble letter. So there's your basic bubble letter. So next we're going to go on to something that's called a blockbuster. So a blockbuster is basically just a cubed letter that's basically like a block that you can see from pretty much a block away. Okay, so there's a blockbuster. So another thing with graffiti is that shading is pretty much key to anything that you do. So then there's the shadow box. So then the last kind of lettering I'll show you is called a wild style. So wild style is kind of basically just wild. So let's do the demo. Just trying to remember. So now that I got my sketchbook, I can now replicate what I've practiced here. So I'll do the R and then I'll do the entire word figure. I'll just add the shadow box. And there you go, that's basically your wild style form. So I'm gonna do an actual, like the full word this time. Okay, so I got my color that I want to start out with. So it might be a little hard to see, but I sprayed the inner gel with the orange. So now I'm going to move on to doing my outline and just black. Okay, now that I've done the outline, I'm going to go ahead and use a green for the inner gel. Okay, so now that I'm done that, I'm going to just do a few touch-ups, and then I'm just going to probably just leave it there, and maybe just do something on the inside as well.
Okay, so now that I'm done, I removed my mask, and you can see you can kind of see like vague lines on my face. That's just because of how tight my mask was on, just because you really don't want to inhale the fumes. So yeah, here's the finished product. doesn't look as good as I hoped it would, but it's something. So if you look real closely, you can see that I did put in an orange, what's it called, inner gel with my black outline, and then a green outer gel. The purple here, I kind of just put it through in a little cheesy detail. So what I did is that I turned the can sideways and then started spraying like this and did that. If you look closely enough, you can see that I did do it along the sides too for like a misty effect on that. But yeah, one of the things you're definitely not gonna enjoy about doing this is that your hands will get dirty for sure. So one thing's for sure is that you do want to wear gloves. I just didn't have any with me, so I've cleaned up in here. So I'm just gonna go upstairs and just wrap up the. You can probably see him. Yeah, that's me. He really doesn't care. Anyway, so I guess the outtake or the thing that I took out of doing this is that graffiti definitely is hard, as you can really tell from what I did. It's definitely something you're gonna want to practice. And if you do end up doing this, when you go and buy paint, don't go and just bomb randomly on places. So yeah, don't do that because it's super disrespectful, and then you don't want to get arrested and whatnot. So if you're gonna do this, just do it in like your garage wall or something like that. Okay, so today I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'm gonna try and see if I can post vlogs either on Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. And then yeah. So until next time.